Hello, this is Jay Mitchell, and we are back with another episode of the Libertarian Uncensored podcast, going over all the posts on the Libertarian Uncensored subreddit. Let's get right into it. So first we have, I don't know who needs to hear this, but even if you've paid off your home, you will pay monthly property tax the rest of your life. I'm in Texas, and I'm looking at $500 a month forever. Refuse to pay, lose your home. You never truly own your home in America. From John Elder on Twitter, and I posted that, and I said, just goes to show how taxation is theft when you don't consent to it. I think if people want to pay taxes, they should be able to. I don't think they should be forced to pay them. And increasingly, the government thinks they own you. Well, in reality, they don't own you. You own yourself. And that's, I would say, the libertarian position on the issue. And that's my thoughts there. Then we have unpopular opinion. Mind your own business and leave the guy alone, from Peter Boghossian on Twitter, and I posted that, and that was his response to the Spanish politician who was eating his own feces, and I said, let's see, I think eating shit is fucking disgusting, and I will make my opinion of that known, but I do think people should be able to do whatever they want with their own bodies. With that being said, if they want to use public pressure to force me out, I think they should be able to, and that's my thought on that issue. Then we have National Conservative Conference. Police told to shut down right-wing Brussels event from BBC, and I posted that, and I said, free speech is a thing of the past in Europe, it looks like, not that they ever had it to begin with. I think I don't care for national conservatives, but I don't care for socialists and communists as well, and I agree that they should have the right to free assembly. So I definitely think, we need to support the right for free assembly, even if it's for groups that we don't like, and that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have, I see this and I understand why some states are calling for the death penalty, from Rothmus on Twitter, and I posted that, and that was him showing an article from BPR, Business and Politics. Former ABC journalist gets 6 years for child porn. Videos included infant being raped. And I said, I still don't trust the state enough to give it the power to kill anyone who is not an active threat, and that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have, the Bible doesn't say anything about abortion or gay marriage, but it does go on and on about forgiving debt and liberating the poor, from Swamp Pinky Dan. That's a cross post from the Interesting as Fuck subreddit. Ultimately, I think people will take whatever they want to out of the Bible. Interpret the Bible however you want to, I would say. Just don't force that on anyone else, I would say. Let each individual interpret the Bible however they want, and as long as they're not hurting anyone else, I think we should just live and let live, and that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have the spectacular implosion of the Libertarian Party from Mother Jones by Baton 13, and that's a cross post from the Libertarian Party USA subreddit, and I said, Mother Jones isn't quite salon. They did an LP hit piece as well recently, but it's damn close, Ultimately, the information there might be true, but Mother Jones is probably just mad that, it's the Libertarian Party isn't full of neo-Marxists, and that's my faults there. Then we have Let's Stick It to Those Feds by Padam 13, and that's a meme. The government is using fake hornet's nests to hide face recognition cameras. Wherever you see a hornet's nest, hit it with a stick to destroy the camera. And, I think that's, I personally wouldn't go and break hornet's nests, even if there were government cameras in them. But if you want to do that, I think you should be able to do so. Just, leave me out of it, I would say. Because I think I want the hornets to go after me. Then we have Senator Tom Cotton doubles down on comments urging people to forcibly remove protesters blocking traffic from NBCnews.com by Frosty Sloman. And I said in response, I think people have a right to stand their ground, but I also think people have a right to free travel as well. Ultimately, people will justify what they justify, and that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have designating and condemning anti-Semitic phrases passes the House 377-44 from clerk.house.gov by Frosty Sloman. And I said, I thought we had the First Amendment in the U.S. It's not the job of the government to condemn speech, however heinous. And that's my thoughts there. And I think, it's setting up to make certain speech illegal, and that's not, I think, very libertarian. I think libertarianism, you're allowed to say whatever you want, and the government can't come after you for it, and that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have, he was a top church official who criticized Trump. He says Christianity is in crisis. Opinion why religion is becoming an even stronger force within the Republican Party, from npr.org/SwampYankeeDan. And I said, I don't know if I comment on this one, but, I personally think, it just goes to show you how, for a lot of people, the state has become the church for a lot of people. And that's why I think we need a separation of church and state. And I think that's very important, and I don't know if we'll have that for much longer. And that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have Don't Say Gay Bill, preferred name, pronoun prohibition advanced in Louisiana, from LouisianaIlluminator.com by SwampYankeeDan. And I said, it's interesting to me that the only time Redditors really care about government authoritarianism is when one of their token marginalized groups is involved. And even then, it's always the same exact narrative about the GOP is bad. You would never see something like this trend on Reddit, for instance. And I linked to a tweet from Spike Cohen. This is Dexter Taylor, and he's an African-American. Dexter was arrested in New York for assembling illegally obtained firearms parts almost 15 years after the Supreme Court ruled that the Second Amendment protects an individual's right to bear arms. And, they never go after that because, that would go against the pro-gun control narratives, but they would go after all the whatever Don't Say Gay Bill is currently trending. And that's my thought on that issue. And next we have, the story is absolutely bonkers. An Asian ACLU employee complains about an abusive work environment. Her bosses, who are black, say, no, we're the victims because you calling us abusive is a racist trope. So the ACLU fires the Asian lady for racism, from David Pivtarak on Twitter. And I posted that, and I said, just goes to show you that the progressive left will always just eat its own. It's all going to be about whatever the hierarchy is on who's more marginalized, and that's why I personally think it's if you're in the progressive movement now, one day they're going to kick you out of it if they don't deem you to be progressive enough and say all the correct idpol narratives, and that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have They Live, 1988, Seeing the Truth Scene, 2 out of 10 from Movie Clips on YouTube, and I posted that, and I said, might just be the best documentary of the past 100 years. I see the movie as a critique of how the elites control people and use things like the media to do so. Increasingly, everyone has access to the glasses that the drifter has thanks to social media, and the social media no longer having a monopoly on the flow of information. And that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have X blocks posted India after election commission order, from DW.com by Donald Key. And I said in response, if this was the U.S. government instead of the Indian one, Reddit would be ecstatic. I like how Elon Twitter stood against Brazil's government. I don't know why he can't stand against India's as well. Maybe it's because the Indian government is more right-leaning currently, but I don't know for sure. And that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have, could homeschool be considered a gun-free zone, from Chad Muffin. That's from the Washington Gun Law channel. And I said in response, there is no such thing as a gun-free zone. Guns don't magically disappear in them. And that's my thoughts on that issue. Then we have, the far right claims there's a uniparty in Washington. Reality suggests otherwise, from abcnews.go.com by Patan 13. And I said, and Cadet Greger said in response, both sides in the argument designed to disguise extremism. It's an attempt to downplay the issues of society's support by establishing a false dichotomy. To restate, this is a dog whistle extremist messaging. And I said, any dissent at all is going to be labeled as extremism these days. It's just a way to demonize your opposition. If you dissent at all, they'll call you like alt-right, extremist, fascist. Maybe if you're on the left, a communist or Marxist as well. But it's just increasingly they want to censor all dissent, and we can't let that happen. I would say we need to support free speech and the ability of everyone to think and say whatever they want to, and that's my thought on that issue. Then we have poll: if you were a member of the U.S. Congress, would you vote mostly yes or mostly no? And I said mostly no. And it's currently 1 vote mostly yes, 1 vote mostly no, 1 vote abstain. And I said, I would say that I would definitely vote mostly no. I don't think the government should be doing much of anything, and anytime you vote yes to something, it means that the government does something. There are exceptions where I would vote yes, of course, like taking your troops out of foreign countries, but otherwise I would definitely say I'm against the government doing pretty much anything, like making new official holidays or giving something like a bridge a new official name. Even if I like the person who they named it after, I remember they named the bridge after Stan the Man Musial about a decade ago, and they had to go through the state congresses of Missouri and Illinois, and possibly the national congress as well for that. You also have to uphold the Constitution, and that doesn't give the government that much power to begin with. It's why Justin Amash voted against the suicide hotline a while ago, and that's my thoughts there. Ultimately, I think we shouldn't be having the government really do anything if people don't want them to, and that's my thoughts there. The best government I would say is the government that governs least, and that's my thoughts there. Yeah. Then we have exclusive. Catherine Marr says she abandoned a free and open internet as the mission of Wikipedia because those principles recapitulated a white male westernized construct and did not end up living to the intentionality of what openness can be. From Chris Rufo on Twitter, and I posted that, and I said, I'm old enough to remember when the left-wing position was for a free and open internet. Now it seems that the progressives are against that, and I think that's interesting. And that's my thoughts there. Then we have Look at Them Go from Stephen L. Miller on Twitter, and that was him showing two headlines from recent headlines. NBC News tweeted, President Biden mischaracterizes the circumstances of his uncle's death during World War II as he lambasts former President Trump's concept about the military. And then the Associated Press tweeted, Biden's off on details of his uncle's World War II death as he recalls Trump unfit to lead the military. And I said, and people wonder why no one trusts him anymore. If it was Trump, they would dogpile on him. And that's my thoughts on that issue. And I think we're gonna wrap it up there. See you guys in the next episode. Bye.